Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the Class Action Weekly Wire. I'm Jerry Maatman, and with me today is for a special mid-year review of class certification numbers is Jen Riley. Jen, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Jerry. It's great to be here, especially with so much going on in the class action space this year.
Well, here we are halfway through 2026. Let's start with the big picture. Courts ruled on more than 155 class certification motions in just the first half of the year, and plaintiffs were successful in 63% of those situations. That's quite a difference from the year before, isn't it?
It is. Last year, the success rate was 68%. So we're seeing a notable downtick, an even bigger change than we saw in 2024, 2023, and 2022, when certification success rates hit 69%, 72%, and 74%, respectively. So the trajectory so far this year suggests that plaintiffs might not be as successful as they have been in the past.
Seems to me what's interesting behind the numbers is the downturn isn't across the board. It really depends on the subject matter area at issue in the class action.
Exactly. So certification rates are all over the place. FCRA, TCPA, RICO, and Warren class certification decisions have all been small in number with only one or two rulings in each of those areas, but all of them have been granted. So 80% of class certification motions in securities fraud cases have been granted. Then on the flip side, less than half of certification motions in privacy were granted. And the one ruling on a class certification in products liability was denied.
That really does run the gamut, and it's very statute oriented or subject matter oriented. Let's talk about wage and hour or Fair Labor Standards Act conditional certification. Does that continue to be the most active area of litigation in this space?
It does. From January through June, courts issued 69 rulings in FLSA matters. 67 of those were first stage motions for conditional certification, and plaintiffs won 39. So that's a success rate of only 58%, which is way down from the 76% in 2025 and the 79% we saw in 2024.
When I look at those numbers and look at the locations, it's striking how those rulings are congregated in certain geographic areas. A large chunk came from the Second and Ninth Circuits, places like New York City and San Francisco and Los Angeles, which tend to be more favorable to the plaintiff's bar.
That's absolutely right. And at the decertification stage, the usual trend where defendants succeed more often hasn't really been playing out this year. We've seen only two decertification rulings so far, and plaintiffs won one of those. So it's 50-50 so far this year.
One of the key takeaways for me from this mid-year data analytics analysis is how much locations impact where cases get filed. We're seeing very few rulings, for instance, from the Fifth, Sixth, and Seventh Circuits, only five in total. Any thoughts on why this is going on?
Great question. So I think it's likely a strategic move by the plaintiffs. Those circuits have adopted stricter standards for conditional certification, really making them less appealing venues. So plaintiffs may be shifting their filings toward more lenient circuits to give them a better chance of success.
If more circuits would follow the lead of the Fifth, Sixth, and Seventh Circuits and start abandoning the traditional two-step certification process established in the Lusardi case out of New Jersey in 1987, that could have a big impact on where cases are brought and how they're treated by the courts.
Absolutely. The mid-year numbers show us that venue selection, subject matter, and timing are all very critical in class action strategy. And with the FLSA continuing to dominate, we'll be watching closely to see how courts respond in the second half of the year.
Well, we'll have the final data and full analysis in the Duane Morris Class Action Review for 2027 coming out in the first week of January of next year. So stay tuned. We'll be back with more insights then. And Jen, thanks as always for being here and for giving us your analysis of these trends on class certification.
Thank you, Jerry, and thanks to our listeners for tuning in.